Hi and welcome back to Learn Python by Doing number 24. So we are going to talk about frozen sets. So basically, frozen set returns an immutable frozen set object initialized with elements from the given iterable. So remember that I said that sets are mutable. Well, frozen sets are immutable, just like tuples. Okay. The frozen set is just an immutable version of the Python set object, as I already said, and while elements of a set can be modified at any time, elements of a frozen set remain the same after creation. So I wanted to talk about what elements can you put in a set. So let's create simply an empty set. Okay, empty set. Remember, this is how we create it. And let's try to add a dictionary, okay? So let's try to use add with this dictionary here. And it says type error unhashable type dict. Why? It's because in sets we cannot put things that are mutable. We cannot add elements that are mutable. Why? Because they are unhashable and we cannot find a hash map for mutable things like dictionaries. The same thing applies with dictionaries. So for example, let's create this empty dictionary. Okay, so this is how you create an empty dictionary. And now let's try to add a list to the dictionary. So let's say I add 1, 2, 3, and this is going to have something like this. So again, we get the type error unhashable type list because we cannot do something like this. 1, 2, 3, 5. So I should have done this. It's easier to understand. Okay, so now it's like that. Type error unhashable type list. We cannot put a list as a key in a dictionary. Now let's try to add a set. So remember, we created sets just like this dictionary. So we're going to put some random numbers here. And again, we get the same error. Unhashable type set. We cannot put a set as a key of a dictionary because sets are mutable and thus they are unhashable. Now let's try to, again, let's create our empty set and let's try to add to this empty set a set again. So again, we're getting a lot of times this type error unhashable type set. So by this time, then you must convince yourself that lists, dictionaries, and sets are unhashable. Why? Because they are mutable. Okay, so we can create like a hashable or immutable version of a set, and those are frozen sets. So let's create our frozen set. So we just simply do this, and for example, let's pass this list. Now the frozen set is like this, and now let's try to add that frozen set. And now we don't get any error and our set contains this frozen set. Why? Because now frozen set is immutable and thus it's hashable, and you can put that as also as a key. For example, empty dictionary, let's recreate it again. Empty dictionary can take this frozen set as a key. So let's see the content of this. So now frozen set is one of the keys of the dictionary. So this is interesting because now you know that in order to add or to create an unhashable a hashable data structure, then you need to pass immutable things to the keys of that data structure. Okay. So that's everything I wanted to tell you about frozen sets. Hope you like this video and see you in the next one.